when I lived a life of prioritizing everyone over me and staying up all night with my mind running and being stressed with headaches, plagued with headaches for no reason, then
Mm-hmm.
everybody was happy. But
Mm.
once I started prioritizing me and putting myself first, some people saw that as a negative. When they would call
Yes.
and say, "Can you do me a favor?" and I would hit them with, "It depends on what it is," they felt let down.
Yes.
They like, "You for real?" I said 110% because I'm no longer
Yes.
Right.
a yes woman. So I can't
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
commit to something not knowing what it is.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
I'm
think that
sure
is
for them,
so.
it
I
felt
think I'm
negative.
sorry.
And
I didn't mean to cut you off on that. Go
Mm-hmm.
ahead. I apologize.
oh no, I was just wrapping up to say for them, it felt negative. So each time I put a boundary in place where I like now, there's some people that can't access me because there's no space for my feelings in our relationship, so you can't have access. So I'm pretty sure that feels negative to them, but it's
Mm-hmm.
empowering for me because I'm choosing me and my feelings over the relationship that society says, "Oh, you got to be there for this person because they
Oh
XYZ."
my
Not
God.
whew,
Oh my
no,
God.
ma'am.
So you no longer allow people to infiltrate your being anymore.
Oh.
You just
Exactly.
you cut them off now.
And it's a gentle cutoff. It's a
Mm-hmm.
cutoff with I'm here to communicate and have a healthy conversation if you're willing to engage. But if I tell you my feelings was hurt by X, Y, and Z, and you pop off on me, you
All right.
not you don't have access to me anymore.
All
There's
right.
no more
All right.
access.
Come on, come on. You sound like my wife right
Oh,
now.
I
Come
see.
on, man.
I told you. You don't even know. This is why we came in with the war stuff on, and we had never look.
Look,
It's giving
came
me
ready with
chills
look
over
with the
here.
with the red stripes down the side and everything. I'm ready, ready, ready.
I'm something
Come on.
later. Wow. I mean, there's so many. I've never heard anyone really break it down, and I've never been able to expound on it the way you did. But that's literally the person that I have become. I used to
Mm-hmm.
really, and people really saw me as being this mean or like I'm changing
Mm-hmm.
or
No,
like say it.
that's how you seem now.
That's what I'm
That
saying
ain't
now.
how you were
Well,
seen before.
well, no, I'm saying
Cause you was a okay person
no, I'm
before.
saying people saw me as being that person as that transformation was happening, like
Mm-hmm.
because they were used
Mm-hmm.
to me
Right.
saying yes.
Right.
They were used to me
Yes.
denying myself and
Right.
sitting in a room and being unhappy,
Yeah.
knowing that that room
Mm-hmm.
is not the place I wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
But they weren't concerned about that
Right.
Yeah.
because they were concerned about them.
Yeah, and I just got to say this real quick, why you,
Go ahead.
because
Say
it
it.
just bugs me is that people can be so comfortable with your misery,
Yes.
Mm.
and then when you start to
Yes.
change, they're like, "Why are you changing
Why
all of
you
a sudden?" I'm like,
you
God dang,
yeah,
I'm not happy. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And I didn't got to a
Well,
point where what you been saying? Oh
I
no,
would say, and here's the thing: they don't know that we're miserable because they're contending to their own happiness. So they're
right,
yes.
right,
prioritizing their happiness, not
right,
realizing that
Right.
you're miserable, and we're not going to speak up on it. And I'm like, I'm done.
I'm
I
right,
can't be
right.
anybody else's crisis counselor. No, no,
You
no.
can't.
Right, and that's why I always say like communication is elevation. I have to intentionally tell you what's going on with me, so you can
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
understand. And I'm not just beating around the bush. But see, a lot
No.
of times we try to like entertain
Yes.
people's emotions. They're like,
Yes.
"Oh, hey, I'm just doing this." Like, now you got to be clear as
Clear.
day. Of like, "Hey, I am
That's it.
changing.
Changing.
Okay,
I'm not
Mm-hmm.
that girl
I'm not
anymore.
that person anymore. And if you want to continue allowing me to be miserable, I need to cut you out of my life."
Talk now.
It's
Talk.
just
That's
that
it.
It's just that simple,
Yeah.
you know. And then I always say that I was telling a good friend of mine is I've gotten to a point to where I told you guys I've dealt with depression, anxiety, and
Mhm.
suicidal thoughts and all that good stuff, right? Used to. Now, if a person tries to combat with like my mindset,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Do you realize there was a point in time I didn't want to live anymore?"
Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
and you want
Mm.
to still try to
So
like,
take me
Yeah.
there.
come on, bro. Like I have no problem cutting you off.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
And you know
You
what?
know.
I think once you really learn to love you, because it's all
Right.
about loving yourself. Once you
Mhm.
learn
Right.
to love you,
Mhm.
and then you see that place that you were, that painful place,
Yeah.
that ugly place that you were, you don't want to go back there. When you see a glimmer of that, or
Mhm.
someone taking you there, you are definitely ready to cut them
Mhm.
off.
It's blinders.
It's
man.
like bye. I mean, bye. The Shasta,
Right.
would you agree with
And
that?
I do, but there's a little phrasing that I would
Use.
adjust
Okay.
because no one can take me anywhere I don't want to go.
Let's
Okay.
go.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what
I'm still
happens
under
with me
construction. I'm working.
right. We all are, but what happens with me is when I see them show up as who they've consistently been,
Mm.
I get to decide how I engage them or not.
Wow.
So I check myself and say, check your audience. Like, why you get caught up when this person has consistently showed you that they are self-absorbed and not interested in your feelings? Why you surprised?
Wow.
Why you surprised? Like I check in with me. Like,
Love her.
Oh,
Yo, hey, can I answer that right quick? Because
yes,
it's so funny.
yes.
Man,
I
y'all
have
got
to
it
answer
going
that.
on this morning.
Because yo, she said something that was so like
Yes.
so deep, but and at the same time, it's
So
right in your
simple.
face.
Yes.
Right.
It's right in your
yeah,
face.
right.
And here's the question I like to ask people: like, if you know that person, okay, is bad for your health, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and then we get mad about it, okay, you got to ask yourself, why are you really mad about
Why are
it?
you mad?
Okay, now when you start asking yourself, like, why am I really mad? It's because you associated yourself with that person's energy altogether.
When
So
you should have
Come
already.
on.
Come on, when you should have already.
you know, you already knew.
You
said-
knew.
So we feel bad when we identify with a person that it makes us look at ourselves in a negative way. So I see you and I see that negative person, and it reminds me of how negative I am. So now I feel bad, but then I'm mad at the same time because I can't cut you off. So now I'm like,
Okay, so the question is why I can't cut you off.
that's because you don't love yourself enough.
Come on now. Come on.
When you
Well,
go ahead. Well, that's my point.
I'm sorry. I would say I wouldn't put it on self-love, but some of it is generational. And if we
Right.
be honest, we say we having candid conversation.
We're having
Most of
candid
these
conversation.
folks-
Give it to us.
With the
Look, most of these folks
Just
are-
don't cut. Just raise the praise. Whatever.
look, I'm not gonna cuss. I'm not gonna cuss. But most of these people are family members.
Right.
Yeah.
Most of these people is mama and them, is our kids, is our
cousin them.
siblings,
Mm-hmm.
is cousin them. So we're not giving them names because we probably trying to protect their identity. But most of our stories are related to family.
The
And
ones
so
that
we
been
don't cut
doing it
them.
since birth.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we don't cut them off because we've not been taught that it's okay that you can be family and I can love you and you not be bringing your energy all up and mixing with my good energy. So I think that's part of the reason why we have a harder time. But I can tell you, and my mom is probably listening, she'll co-sign. I love my mama to death. But for it was when I was working on this intentionally choosing me, it started about I bet 7-8 years ago now. I had to tell her we can only text because right now what you bring to my life is overwhelming me and I'm not able to deal with it. So for like 2 months we were text only. It was so hard. I was in therapy for months just to build up to have that conversation and to do it. And right now today she'll say, Shasta, that's a place I never want to go. She understands my boundaries. She started putting in her own boundaries with family members and friends. And it's tough. Like you literally have to have some mental health support to do it.
Right.
I have a brother that I don't talk to. I haven't spoke to in years because we cannot have a meeting of the minds. Because I tell people it's not about the rupture, it's about the repair. We're gonna rupture relationships. We're human. But it's about how we repair it. So I'm not mad that you cussed me out. I'm not mad that you blasted me on Facebook and called me out my name. I'm concerned that we can't repair this in a healthy way to move on.